Should we wait for others to join or shall we continue?
Ma'am, B design students have joined Zakia, ma'am. Um, I don't know about the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
B
ma'am.
design
Okay, ma'am.
students. MR students, I think still they can join. Very
Okay,
few are
then we'll
only.
wait for them to join, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Another 5 minutes. Can you? I'll post again in the class group, ma'am.
Okay, okay, fine, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Zakia, ma'am, you can start the session. So we don't have to wait anymore. We'll just start the session, Zakia, ma'am. Zakia, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
I'll just start presenting the screen. Okay, this is just a few topics that you need to consider while you think about the sheet composition. So, what you need to consider while you're talking about doing a presentation sheet. Okay. So, first is the content, then you have orientation, layout, hierarchy, background, structure, circulation, color, fonts, and text. So when we move on to why exactly you need to give a proper thought to the composition of sheet, why you actually think a proper layout should be done. Uh, One main reason is because it will convey your design really well. What you are trying to tell your whoever you're presenting to, whether it is your client or whether it is your staff or some external. So for that, it's important. And then there will be a proper order in your presentation. Like for example, you go from concept then you start explaining about your site analysis, and then you move on to your design solution. So if you actually compose your sheet well, there will be a proper order in it. Then the more impressive your sheet composition is, the more you convey your creativity and design capabilities. The usually when you see a kind of a competition design sheet, by looking at it, you can immediately tell that the person who actually has presented this has given a lot of thought to design, and they have actually done a really good job. So how do you actually get that idea? Because the sheet has been presented in such a way. So even for your portfolios, when you make your sheets, when you actually design your portfolios and all that, you the first thing that the person who receives your portfolio will be looking at is how your sheet composition is, because that's the first thing that will strike out to them. I mean, you take like for example, you take some kind of magazine. What exactly strikes your eye first? The way it's been composed, and from the way it's been composed, you pick out whatever is highlighted. So that's what sheet composition is all about. So how exactly all the sheet composition happens is through your own creativity and your designing capabilities. So you are basically showcasing your creativity to the external or to your client without even going into the design yet. So this is why your sheet composition is very important. And last point, you improve your chances of scoring higher. I had one student 2 years back who was like asking me this one thing towards the end of the semester, ma'am, how can I increase my marks? I know most of you are like to think that marks are more important than actually what you learn. So for those of you, this is a way of increasing your chances of scoring higher. Okay. So moving on to the topics, content. That is, you are going to decide what you will be placing in your sheet. So, like, these are the main questions you have to ask yourself when you're going to decide on your sheet presentation. So, what you want to communicate? What is the visuals you will use? You will have a lot of 3Ds. You'll have a lot of plans and sections, elevations. So, which of these you will want to use? What is the main element of your project? So, which you want to highlight more? And then what you plan to write for your explanations, like under your concept you can give some kind of write up by explaining what you have done, or in your planning sheet you can write some points over there saying how you derived at that particular form, or how you derived at that particular planning. So all this you need to decide beforehand, before you start your sheet. So what you actually have to do is make a list. This is basically your design brief, where you will be given the deliverables that is going to be asked for your final presentation. So your site plan, master
Zakia
plan,
ma'am,
flow plan.
Zakia ma'am,
I'm sorry.
Zakia ma'am, the slides are not moving. Yeah, yeah, now it's okay, ma'am.
Oh, sorry, ma'am. Um,
Yeah, now it is moving, ma'am. Can you just try one more time, make it moving the slide?
okay,
Yes.
fine, ma'am. 1 second, ma'am. Mm. Now, ma'am, are the slides moving, ma'am?
Yeah, yes, I'm just seeing. Just one more click. One more click. Just move again for the next slide.
Okay, fine, ma'am. Uh, okay, I'll just continue from this point.
Zakia ma'am, can you go to the slideshow and present it, Zakia ma'am? Slideshow,
Yes, okay, fine, okay, ma'am.
slideshow.
How about now?
Ma'am, the slides are not moving.
Ma'am, I'm sorry, ma'am, I'm not able to get you.
No, ma'am. Click on the slideshow and move it, ma'am. Click on the slideshow
Okay, ma'am.
and then move it, ma'am.
Okay, clicking on the slideshow and I'm moving on to the next slide. Is it working?
No, ma'am. It is still in the same slide.
It's showing the same slide?
Yeah,
Okay, ma'am, I will share the screen once more.
yeah, yes. Ma'am, share your entire screen so that I guess it will work.
How about now?
Yes, ma'am. Now it is working. Yes,
Okay, then I'll continue.
yes, yes, ma'am. Good. Fine, fine.
Okay, fine. So you make a list from your design brief. So your design brief, you have your deliverables given. So from your deliverables, you choose what all has to be put on into your sheet. Divide your deliverables into three parts: the problem, solution, and conclusion. So problems usually all your text and information, your site analysis, your site conditions, your climatic conditions. So yeah, all these will be your problem. Solution is your concepts, the diagrams, circulation charts, your bubble diagrams. All these will be your solution. And conclusion is your final factor where you end up doing your putting your final plans, sections, elevation, views. So make a list of these three, and from these you can decide on the orientation. You can decide on how you are going to split up the design. Like for example, see in this part your problem, solution, and conclusion. So under your problem, you have been given site condition, climate analysis, site brief. Under solution, you have concept, illustration, strategies, and under conclusion, you have plans, sections, 3D views, the elevations, all those will come under your conclusion. So now let's take this, okay? So in this part, exam layout over here, what's been done is the problem has been placed, sorry, your conclusion, your 3D view, that's been placed at the most bottom, and it's given the maximum spacing so that it is striking out the most. Your climate analysis has been given at the top, then you have your problem in the sorry, your solution in the center, your concept, and then you have your sections and views. So how you exactly you link to your problem, solution, and conclusion is, see if for each sheet, see what it is going really well with the other. Like say in this case, your climate analysis, there you can go well with the concept. Certain students, I have your mm, concept itself based on your climate analysis. Like for example, your bioclimatic design, biophilic design, all these are based on your climate condition. So for that case, you will have your climate analysis and your concept together in the same sheet. So with your climate analysis and your concept comes your 3D view mode, so your form, so that has to go along with that. So like that you need to make a connection. Maybe for the next sheet you can use your site condition with illustration, because site conditions and illustrations have more of a cohesive factor. So if you take your illustration, 3D views will go well with your illustration. So this becomes your the linking factor for the second sheet. And then your third sheet can probably have your site brief. So when you mention site brief, strategies will work well with that. So and with strategies, planning works well. So your third sheet, your cohesive factor will be site brief, strategies, plans. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Yes,
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
able to follow me. Okay. So this is the type of layouts you can actually have based on the content. So content wise, it can be either layout based or color based. So here your layout based is you have a grid type of system, you have a style type of system, then you have a focal point. Color based, you have a minimalist strategy, you have a background, you have a color popping thing. So how exactly you go about doing this? Actually, I'll come to this point once more because I have the same slide once more. I forgot to remove this. Okay, orientation. So orientation is whether you want to decide to go with a portrait orientation or a landscape orientation, the size of your sheet, whether you want to use a bigger size, whether you want to use a smaller size sheet. So how do you decide on those? So you got to decide according to the visuals you are having. Like, hold on a second, please. Okay, so you have to decide on first thing you have to think is how exactly you're going to be presenting this is for now. Usually it will be like whether you will be presenting it on the table where the external is going to be really close to your sheet, or whether the sheets are going to be pinned up on the board where there is actually quite a distance between you and the external, where the text size will matter in those cases. So now you have to consider one more point, whether it's going to be an online presentation or whether it's going to be an offline presentation. In case of offline presentation, you have to think about the distance between the external and you, how legible the sheet type size is going to be and all that. And in case of online presentation, you also have to consider the sheet size, as in you cannot have an A1 sheet size presentation happening in a small laptop or a system PC, because A1 size, your text is going to be really small. You can actually see from this itself, this is actually an A1 size sheet. And the text, even if I enlarge this to the full size of the screen, I'm sure it's not going to be legible. So that one thing you need to consider before you decide on your orientation. Second is you decide according to the visuals you have. So if you have if you have rendered a really big image, I mean to say, like you have a wide angle rendering of some particular exterior or interior, then you can actually have that kind of orientation happening. Like if it's wide, you have a landscape orientation. If lengthwise it is longer, then you have a portrait orientation. Okay, so that's one way of deciding. And then you also need to realize that if the number of boards is being limited to, that is to say, if you have been given limitation on the number of sheets you are supposed to produce, then that also you have to consider during that, deciding on your orientation. Like if they have given you like probably in your college, actually, they don't give you a limit on the number of sheets, but in your competition design, they actually tell you that you have to submit a maximum of one sheet or maximum of two sheets. So that matters on the deciding on the orientation type. Okay, this is a multiple sheet orientation. All these are single vertical orientation. This is a single horizontal orientation. This is a multiple vertical orientation, and this is a sorry, the other way around. This is the multiple horizontal orientation, and this is a multiple vertical orientation. Okay, that is to say there are two sheets, and these are three put together. So when taken a print, this will be taken separately as three, but when actually presented on the screen, it is seen as one. Okay, and then next is you decide on the layout. So for your layout, what is important factor? So this is what I was talking about in the previous slide there. Okay, so the type of layout you can go with are actually there are four main types, okay, that you need to consider. One is your grid, the other is a full image, then you have style and focal point. These are the four main types. Other than this, you also have layout based and color based. All these are there, but I would like you to ignore this one now and concentrate more on this type of these four. So grid is a very simple one. It most easy, you can actually easy to do also, and it also conveys your design well, because everything is in like a proper grid system. It's in a proper order. Then you have full image. Full image you can use when you have something like a huge design. I mean, like a vertical uh, render where it's really large and you really want to present the whole thing. Or when you do not have many views, you have only one or two and you want to focus them so much. So in those cases, you can actually use that as your background itself, and you can have your planning shown in the darkest part of your render. So that is like a contrast between your background and your planning. So this way you actually present both your views and your plan. But as much as possible, I will advise you not to go for a full image, because this is actually very distracting to the planning. Your views may be okay, you can convey it well. You can use this for a conceptual project where there's not much of planning and detailing to be shown. But for your final sheets, your final presentation sheets, by the time you come to your final sheet at the end of the semester, no, you will already have every single thing. You'll have all your plans ready. You'll have all your detailings ready. So you will have to fit them all into something, and you cannot have such a dark background with your view and then put your plans and detailings into it. It will actually not be seen. So, as much as possible, try not to go for this style. This is a little difficult to do unless you have some kind of really interesting form in your design. I will advise you not to go with this, because once you start in this design itself, you can actually see the curves around over there. So for because of this, the whole curve in your format itself goes well with the design. But if you don't have any such kind of pattern in your design, try not to go for this. And then you have a focal point. Focal point actually works well. One part of your design can actually focus a lot on the particular view or a particular form, while the rest of your design will still convey the rest of your planning and your elevations, your sections. Okay, focal point is also a good way of doing it. The best option you actually have is your grid system and your focal point system. Your style system also can be used if you know how to link a design to your style. Okay, moving on. This is kind of like a grid system, but it is done really neatly. So everything has its own part, and everything has been given like proper order over here. So like the rest of your planning and section, the elevations are happening at the center, while this part over here actually shows you your presentation. I mean your views with your rendered views, and at the bottom you have your interiors and then your exteriors. So it's actually very neatly done. This is a really good example of how your sheet can be done in a grid system. Then you need to consider the hierarchy. Okay, so for a hierarchy, actually, one more thing I want to point out to you about your layout system, it is that if you're actually a beginner to your presentation and you think that actually you're not, you don't know exactly what kind of presentation to go with, for that I will actually advise you to look into some kind of go online, search for some kind of a layout, see what actually strikes you, see what you like, and then try to mold that into your design. And then while you try molding it into your design, you will slowly your own design will take form, and then you will have a kind of a layout, plus you will also be able to do it the to according to your own design. Okay? And then moving on to hierarchy. Yeah, hierarchy is thinking about the both hierarchy is the most important because some of your visuals have more attention than the others in order to convey your ideas. So this is what I was trying to talk about. This is kind of like a focal point system where you have to see whether any particular element in your design you want to highlight. So what exactly is that you want to highlight and how to highlight them. So you can relate your how your hierarchy with your focal point system or even through your grid system also. But hierarchy system works the best with your focal point. So that's what is happening in this over here. That is like your focal point is this form over here. And then the second thing that strikes your eye is the sections and the elevations here. And how exactly is the importance given to that by giving it a color theme. And then you have your third part, which is where your write up is, and how is that given a more importance in this hierarchy is because it's actually given a kind of a logo, or it's given some kind of pattern, or you have a much bigger size text than the rest. So that's three, and then you come to this part over here. Finally, that's your plan and sections, I believe. So because you if you follow the system over, you understand which is given importance and which is actually being given a lesser importance. That's how you explain it in a focal point and how it is linked to your hierarchy system. Okay, so like if you for example, if you take this sheet, your this particular view is given the most importance. After this, next is your interior view that was taken over here, and then comes the form. The form is something really interesting in this, so because of that, because here it's given the third order and hierarchy, and then comes your probably the site conditions and your analysis form the on how exactly they have arrived with this form and design. So you understand the hierarchy happening over here: one, two, three, four. Okay. And this is another thing. If you are stuck, try using a simple layout. If you are not sure which should be given more importance, then go with the grid system, because a grid system you will have a proper place for each of your designs, for each of your views, sections, elevations. So everything will be given actually equal importance. And in a grid system, you can move about depending on the size of your view, size of your plans and elevation. So grid system is the best option actually you have. Then working on your background. So some people actually like using your the background, your view itself as a background, and blend that with the rest of your design. Some actually use like a plain white background. The white background was actually a more professional kind of a background, but whatever your background is, your focus you need to decide on what exactly is going to be your focus, whether your focus is going to fall on the views or whether your focus is going to fall on the text. Okay. And if you use like a really distracting background, it's going to be very difficult for the reviewer to actually understand what is there in your shit. Okay, so that's what it means by active or passive. So in this case, actually, as you see, your background is an active background. The background is also a part of your design sheet. And in this, it is a passive background. White is like just a blank background, nothing else. So you understand the difference between an active and a passive background. So you make a choice based on that, on which exactly you want, an active background or a passive background. Next is you move on to your structure. So structure is actually like a storyboard of your design. Okay, so you will be like trying to explain how you came up with your design through the structure. Structure is almost similar to a layout. Based on the layout is based on your structure you can decide your layout also. Like for example, if you take mm, what is it? Yeah, okay. This part over here. So from here, what they have actually done is each level they have done separately, and as you keep going on, they have added on one more and more levels to explain how the whole thing is happening over here. So this is like a storyboard. The same thing is being explained over here. Probably a different demographic is being explained here and here, but you can actually see the levels happening and how everything gets added on in each layer. So that is what like a storyboard means. That is what the structure of your paper actually means. Okay, so that's one. And then this is a grid system using a proper structure where you actually explain to structure also means on exactly what you want to place where. Like for example, this part over here is completely the analysis happening, and then this part explains to you your space requirements, and this happens to be your planning. These are your interior spaces, then you have interior spaces up above. So how you go about doing your deciding on the structure also depends on how you actually decide on the layout of your presentation sheets. Okay, then moving on to circulation. Circulation is nothing but you are trying to decide on the order in which you will be presenting your sheet. So, like for example, if your concept itself is the plan, then you will use your conceptual view as probably the main part of your mm, like a focal point, or you'll be using it as a main part of your sheet, and then you will be moving on to the rest of your plans and the rest. And if your concept is based on the form, then you will probably start with your form first, and then from the form you will be going on to explain how the rest of your planning is happening. So that is like you will be telling the order in which it goes. So in case your concept is the plan, your planning will come first, and then you will be moving on to the design. So if your form is based on concept, then your form will come first, and then you will be explaining the rest of your design. Okay, so that is deciding on the circulation. Next is your sorry. Next is your color. So regarding your colors, it's like you have to make sure you don't distract your viewers too much with lots of colors all over the sheet. This part of the design, they have actually used a kind of a very subtle and muted tone so that you actually highlight the form through the colors, but you also make sure the rest of your sheet is presentable with not too many clashing of colors happening. So for in this part, they have used only some 3 or 4 shades, and only if forget the views. When you're talking about the colors of your sheet, you talk about the color of your views. You are only going to be talking about the colors of your form, your planning, what you're trying to highlight. Only those. And then take this also for an example. You have a form over here, but they have used the color only to show the water feature happening over there. And then you have the some brown shade over here to explain that that particular wall, maybe they are having some particular importance over there, or they are giving some kind of wall treatment and that wall alone. So this way you highlight exactly whatever you want through colors. Okay, and whatever you choose, you have to use the same color combination throughout your storyboard, throughout your presentation sheets. Okay, next is your fonts. Please, please, please pay a lot of attention to the kind of fonts you use. Okay, use a very professional looking font, and you can, these are examples of different fonts that you can use for your design. Please avoid these comic sans and those kind of fonts as much as possible. Avoid informal fonts. And then some of the things you need to remember is you actually have to your font should be of a darker color than your background. It can actually work the other way also, where you can have a darker background and a lighter color font, but in those cases the contrast has to be really strong. Only then your font will stand out. And then another thing is use the same font throughout your design. That's actually the best option. You can alter the changes in between the font probably through your highlighting them, I mean, as a bold or italics, or through size. But other than that, as much as possible, use the same font. You can alter between two fonts, but like for example, your title of your format of your sheet can be of one font, while the rest of your design can have another font. But other than this, please do not flip between many fonts in the same sheet. And then comes your text. Actually, you itself tell me. I am sure through every single thing that I have been showing you so far, you have been paying more attention to the images than what has been written on there. And so, this is one example of why you need to reduce your text in your presentations and have more of images. See, this is one thing I really want to point out to you people. My teacher once said, use long text in boards if you are a lawyer, but you are an architect, so use more drawings. That is the best way of explaining your design. You use your drawings, you use your images, sketches, plans, or elevations, sections. You can use conceptual views. You can anything that maybe logos and doodles, anything. But as much as possible, avoid writing long paras like these. This will not help. The external is not going to have so much time to read through these. Your client will depend more on what you say than actually what is written over there. Your client is not going to say, give me that, I'm going to read through the whole thing. So all this actually will not work. When you yourself tell me, when you actually see this image, what exactly your eye goes to towards this image over here, towards the image at the bottom, and then probably you see this, and then actually because of this color contrast, probably this also catches your eye and this. But the text, do you actually feel like you're going to sit and read them? I don't know about you, but not me. As much as possible, use less text and more of images. This is an example of how you can actually do it. So like this becomes your focal point. The whole sheet itself is divided into a grid form. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. So like there are like four grids, and from this it's like this is your focal point over here, and then comes this storyboarding happening on this corner, and then how the planning is going on, and then how it, if once you split every single part, what exactly the interior is happening, the different materials and the different joinery is given, all that's been explained. So the easiest method used for explaining. And then I want to point out a few things to you people, like how exactly can the same design create different impact. Okay, so this particular link actually, Minimum sent this to me, and it was really enlightening on how you can actually create a different impact on through the same sheet. I mean, through the same design. So I want you people to notice this. There's two images over here, 1 and 2. Have I'm giving you 1 minute. Have a look at this and tell me which you think has a better which you think actually look better, which have grasped you more, which you think is really having the best layout among these two? One or two? Okay, how many people actually thought second option was a better option? How many of you thought second option was a better option? Can someone give me an answer? At least just tell me if you thought your second option was a better, just say yes or no. No response. You people are online itself or not?
Students kindly respond.
Okay, fine. I'll
Students,
just explain to you why option two was the better option. That's because your sheet was actually divided into three very clear grids. And so what happened is there was actually a proper hierarchy system in this, and the main part of your sheet was divided into three parts. So it was much more easier to read. It was much more easier to understand, and you can actually understand the priority given to that design through that sheet. So your view over here on the exterior view, and then you have your interior views on the top. So it more striking, and then you have your plans happening, sections, elevation happening in the center. So this is like when you see the sheet, this what is your striking views. So the amount of effort given for this design, you can actually see it in the way the layout has been placed. So second option was a better option, and I will actually show you my design sheets. These are like and how it varies. This was like a concept, the same thing, same design, same sheet, but the two different layouts, and how much you actually can find the difference in them. I mean, which actually has a better impact than this. This was like a starting basis which I started with, but the this was the end product. Do you people get what's happening over here? In this case, the background was too dark. That is to say, these lines over there was very distracting. So while you actually see the images, you are also able to see the background clearly. So what happened was, you see not only the image, but you also see the background, and you wonder what is there at the back. So that way, this was the wrong choice. In this case, the background is really muted. It's actually the very same background, but a much more, what do you call it? Transparency was reduced a lot. And then there was a change in the font style, there was a change in the format, there was change in the color system. So the whole thing went well with the concept of the design itself. Okay. And then your the same plan, same sections and elevation, everything is the same thing on this. That was done over here, but you can actually see the difference. It feels like this is way more full. This is looking very linear. So that's another thing you need to actually see how exactly you can fit more, but also make it look like it is properly aligned. And then same views. Yeah, sorry. The same spaces, but taken through different views. For example, when I take this view, it was actually supposed to be a mirror image. So I thought it would make a much more interesting form over here. But then when you take a step back from there, this actually had a much more better impact, because when you open up the wardrobe to show that you have a color contrast also happening in the same room, then the rest of the views are actually the same, but you have to prioritize on what exactly is way more important, which has a much more visual impact. And then you move around your sorry and you move them around to show which has a more visual impact. This because you have a lot more elements in over there, so that is like more striking. This same image is what this is, but then cut off all these to make it look a lot more linear. So that's how you end up with this image. Okay, so that's like a same design, but you get a different feel from both the designs. This looks way more amateurish. This looks not like a professional, but at least somewhere a little close to that. Okay, and this is two different kind of design. Sorry, different kind of layout. Here they have used all kinds of different forms happening. So I want you people to understand that if you actually feel like you can achieve this kind of a form through different kinds of alignment, go ahead and do it. But please be aware that it will also create a very confusing impact unless you are able to explain it really clearly. You'll find this very confusing for the viewer. This is again it's just a grid format. You have a focal point and then you have the storyboarding happening over here. You are explaining how the evolution happened. This is probably just a conceptual stage, so you have only this much over there. If this was supposed to be your final presentation sheet or something, you'll have a lot more in there. And see, actually, I was telling you in the beginning, no, for your layout, choose one image, should go through your, what do you call it, go through the net, if find some kind of layout that you like, and then once you like it, start molding it to your design, start molding it to what you have done, and it will take a different form. So when I this same thing this was my inspiration for a design. You can see exactly how different it became once I started using that. So over here all the programming and design narratives and all were happening with the views at the bottom. So like as much as possible I was trying to use the views at the bottom, but the rest of the design took a different shape itself. Did you get what I was trying to make you people understand regarding how the design will change while you do keep molding it to yours? Yes. Okay, and this is another link I want to show you people. This particular website, this I think will apply more for you guys like with your design approach, with your presentation approach. It's like different because we have multiple sheet to present. This will work well. So like one sheet you can actually talk about your design approach and your plan and elevation. The next sheet you can highlight your views more. So like that you have a look at this website. I will send you the link so you will get an idea of how you can do different kinds of presentations. Okay, this website is I think very particular for interior design students, so that's why I want you all to have a look at it. This is another design. Okay, thank you. And I would like to point out a few things before I conclude. One is most of my source came from Meenu ma'am and Ramya. So thank you so much for the content you people sent me. Thank you.
Actually, it has been very neatly organized, Zakia ma'am. It's like really neatly organized. We were not able to figure out how to explain it in a very formatic way. Like the way you have formatted it and explained it in on each topics. No, I think so. It would have given them a better clarity on behalf of
Yeah,
students
I
of
really hope so.
yeah, on behalf of students of B Design, I really want to thank you for such an eye-opening session for them. They didn't have any thought process of how to format or compose a sheet, either digitally or manually, whatever it is. Even though there are certain students who really good do very good work, but the way they compose their sheet, their work was not so much enhanced. So I think it will be a really a good eye-opening session to them. So I thank on behalf of them once again, ma'am. I will ask them to join their class. Shall I ask them to join their class, ma'am? B
Yeah, ma'am.
design students.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Sakyam. B design students, please go and join your class link now. B design class. Somebody respond.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please. Go and join our class link now. We design students. Soon attendance will be taken there in our class link again now. Ananta Lakshmi, join our class link. Krishkiran, Nandita, Udit, Udit, Krishkiran, Udit and Krishkiran, join our class link now. People who are joining late, we can figure out that they have already slept in the thing, I guess, ma'am. They are not joining that class. This Udit and
No
Krishkiran.
issues, ma'am. Let them join the Amma class itself then.
Yeah, yeah. Ma'am, when they are awake, just scold them and send them to that class, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Okay, I'm gonna take attendance for you people once more because I have attendance of only like six of you for the morning hour. Just a second, hold on. I will take the attendance once more. If you have any doubts regarding presentations, you can ask them. Arifa Banu,
Present, ma'am.
Ashit Mira,
Present, ma'am.
there's Fatima Rizwana, Gopi Krishna, Nishad,
Yes, ma'am.
Tana Salim, Tanahar, Tarvinan, Shravya,
Yes, ma'am. Present, ma'am.
Surjit, Surjit, Shweta, Vignesh, Vinod,
Present, ma'am.
Vinod,
Yes, ma'am. That's okay.
Who just answered me right now? Vinod or Vignesh?
Hello, Vinod, ma'am. Vinod here.
Okay. Is there anything you people would like to discuss? Okay, fine. At least fill in this link, please. I will put it in the chat.
Ma'am,
This is yes.
ma'am, is there any particular format for the report?
Report, yeah, okay, report. We will send you a report format. But actually, I want to point out one thing to you people. See, for your report, no, you don't have to stick to one particular format for the report. Okay, you can interior design in particular. No, we are not very particular about how you do your report. Interior design is one field in which you can be as creative as possible. See, CPM students, all them, they will have to have like one proper format that they have to follow. Landscape, actually, I'm not really sure about, but as far as I know, interior, you people have as much freedom as you want with bringing creative with your reports. Only thing is, you will have to make sure the first few pages of your report remain the same. Hold on a second, I will just show you an example of report. We haven't decided on which example to show you people yet. So what I'm showing you right now is basically just my old report. So after I decide, after the minimum, I will talk over it and then we will give you a final report. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So the only thing that you will have to make sure is the same in all of these reports or these scripts. So just make sure that only these things remain the same as it is. That is the title page, the title of your. I'm sure you would have used all these same thing for your dissertation also.
Yes,
Same
ma'am.
format will
We
be
have the
there.
same format. Yeah, this format only.
Yeah, exactly the same thing. So only thing is you will be changing this dissertation title into a thesis title. The rest of the things will be the same. Your bona fide certificate, then your declaration form, then your acknowledgements. That's it. Then next will be the chapter pages, as in you have to show. Oh, sorry, not this. That's what I meant. Hold on a second, I'm not exactly sure where it is. I will find and I will show you. Okay, Shruti, as I was asking about the form, so this is like a land, it's not even a portrait orientation, this is just a landscape orientation. And all those chapters alone will be the same, okay? So, like for example, your first chapter will be about your synopsis, second, your literature review, then you have your case studies, then design sheets, and so like that is how you will be going into detail about your your report. So each of these will go further. Sorry, the pages are not in a proper order over here. These are the literature study sheets, case studies, trust area studies, case studies for the trust area, comparative studies, inference, and then you have your design sheet, conclusion, and design guideline, and your biodata. Sorry, not a biodata, your resume.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, and so that's just a basic format, but what you have to make sure is the content, what you have to have. But other than that, up to you and how you go about doing your shit. Whether you want to do it in a landscape format, whether you want to do it in a portrait format, everything is up to you. Only thing is, the first few pages have to be the same, and the content you put in them has to be like the format of the content has to be the same. Like for example, you'll have all your mm, title sheet, then you have your bona fide, then you have your declaration, acknowledgement, and then you have content page where you have your all your title. Uh, and it's kind of like an index page with the page numbers, and then you will have your list of figures, list of tables, then comes your chapter-wise splitting up of your case studies and design sheets and all that. So, like first chapter will be your synopsis, second chapter will be your literature study, third chapter will be your thrust area study. Fourth chapter will be your case studies. Fifth chapter will fifth chapter. Actually, you can have your fifth chapter is just a comparative study, and then after that, finally your sixth chapter or final chapter, all your design sheets. That's all.
Okay, ma'am.
And please fill in the link in the chat box. It's mainly your attendance form for this presentation. Okay. Please fill in the feedback form also.